And we are live. Assalamualaikum everyone. Welcome to Halal Stock Hunters by Halal Investing Network. My name is Afiq, if you have not been following us for a while. And this is Datuk Tuan Paduka. Sapa.
Ardi. Thanks for the introduction.
Folks, we've got a very exciting night for you tonight. It is the last week of May. And so we're changing things slightly. If you've been tuning in to Halal Stock Hunters over the past few weeks, you know that usually we review our HIN model portfolio. And here's the thing, we realize that takes a lot of time. And so we are doing it on both Sunday nights and on Wednesday mornings. And so we've decided that on Wednesday mornings is when we will review our portfolio, the performance for the past week, for the past month, see what's been happening, the calls that we've made, and how the performance has been. On Sunday nights instead, we want to start the week right. We want to relax, prepare for work the next week and the next day. And we just want to read out a little bit about news and all that. And so we've decided Sunday night, we'll talk a little bit about the market updates and we'll share with you two of our, halal stock picks that we like. Okay, sounds good. Adi, any words?
Right. I'm ready to go.
Right, so let me share my screen.
All right.
There we go. So, wait, PowerPoint. Come on, PowerPoint. Don't do this to me. Here you go. There we go. So, Halal Stock Hunters, 23rd of May, 2021, uncovering halal gems in the stock market. Today, the first pick of tonight is actually Mondelez International Inc., MDLZ. Traded on, I think it's on NASDAQ. If not, it's on NYSE. I think it's on NASDAQ. Yes, it's on NASDAQ. Now, growing up, if you've heard of this particular brand called Kraft, I'm sure you have, Kraft Foods. They used to manufacture, I always remember the Kraft cheese, all kinds of snacks, cakes, all kinds of food. 8 years ago, they became Mondelez International. Now, one of the oldest food companies out there. Since 1923, I grew up looking at all the Kraft brands. In fact, as an adult, I suddenly realized, hey, I don't see the Kraft brand anymore. Then I suddenly started doing some digging and then realized they turned into Mondelez. And yes, it is pronounced Mondelez, not Mondelez. It is Mondelez. If you look on their Wikipedia page, it tells you why they call Mondelez. Quite cool history there. They have a presence in 160 countries, not companies. That's a bit of a typo on my part. They are one of the giants in the world. They have a presence almost all around the world. And let's face it, folks, people need to eat, right? People need to eat. And being one of the biggest food companies out there, they are prime position to be able to feed the world, inshallah. They are halal again, folks. All the stocks that we recommend have been screened for their halal status, but also do your own due diligence. Should that halal status change over time and you do decide to add these things into your portfolio, do check every once in a while. Again, disclaimer, not a recommendation for you to buy or sell, just something interesting for us to look at when it comes to tonight's stocks. Now, over the past 4 or 5 years, the annual revenue has been at about 26 billion. And ever since the pandemic hit, ever since COVID-19 hit in 2020, their revenues actually went up. Of course, here in Singapore, we see people queuing up in front of Sheng Siong and all that. And in fact, some people in the Halal Investing Network group have actually spoken about Sheng Siong. They brought up, hey, should we look at Sheng Siong as a company? Now, I would argue Sheng Siong versus Mondelez. 26 billion versus, how much does Sheng Siong bring in again?
Not sure, bro.
Would they even smell 1B? I don't know. But for me, Mondelez has been fantastic. And now I'm going to throw it back to Adi. Adi, show us your chart, show us your take on Mondelez.
Okay. So I think the products that Mondelez actually distribute, I'm sure Sheng Siong also has those products on their shelves, right? I think.
Yeah. Sheng Siong actually distributes stuff from Mondelez.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess it's if Sheng Siong makes money, then I guess Mondelez is also making money. So, okay, since it's on the NASDAQ, why don't we take a look at the NASDAQ chart for now?
Awesome.
Okay, so this is the weekly chart of Nasdaq 100 index. And as you can see, the trend is still up, although a couple of weeks ago, we saw some retracement on the Nasdaq. So let me just draw some lines here to show that the bull run is not over yet. The trend is still to the upside. And we have resistance at around the 14015 level. But as we can see from here, after about 4 weeks of down moves, price have actually came down and tested the slanting support level here. Okay, this slanting line, we call it a slanting support. And possibly from here, we could see price actually testing the resistance again. All right, so I'm looking at the possibility of price actually bouncing up from here, testing first of all the 14015 level. And if we can break that particular resistance, then we can see price actually going higher, right?
Yeah.
So it's a good thing actually if the index is actually doing well, and if the tide has actually changed back to the upside, then the other stocks that are within Nasdaq could also benefit. So having said that, so we need to actually now look at Mondelez. And as you can see, I have also drawn the slanting support. And we saw that basically price actually bounced off this particular level at around the 53.04. Current price is at 63.36. And it has just broken the resistance, right? So this current line here around the 59.77, or we can just say it's the $60 level, which is a round number, it's a good round number as well. So if it has broken that level, and you can see that it tested a couple of times. The first test happened during 18th of February last year. And then we saw another test 31st of August last year, and another test this year, 4th of January, okay, this year, and it fell back down before actually pushing upwards and breaking the resistance that I've stated just now at around the $60 level. So from here, where can price go to, right? So now that it has actually formed a double bottom, what does a double bottom tell you, Afiq?
It tells me that it's going to go to the moon. Double bottom, from what you've taught me, is a bullish indicator. Am I right?
Okay, it is actually a bullish chart pattern, right?
Bullish chart pattern. Salah.
Yeah. So we have a bullish chart pattern here, a double bottom formed a couple during 15th of October 2018, and after the break of the resistance, you could see that price actually rose from $46. It went all the way to about $56. That's about a $10 up move and about 25% returns, right? In a matter of like, okay, let's just count from here around March, and it actually touched around the $60 level in February. So it took about a year, right? About 11 months to be exact. But from 46 to the price of 55, it basically went from March to around July. So it's just about 3 months, right?
Yeah,
March,
about
April, yeah, it's about 3 months. So now that we have also broken resistance level, I would say that we might have another 3 more months of up moves from here if looking at the historical movements it has made in the past, right? So right now it has actually 4 weeks have gone, and it has continued to actually close higher and making new highs. And as you can see here, I have also drawn a slanting line. This will be the slanting resistance level, okay, using technical analysis. So I believe that there's no resistance on this in this area. So I guess this $70 dollar level will be the next level. It will be a price magnet, and it could possibly go towards this level, I think, before we could see any retracement.
Wow. So if we're looking at about 60 to 70, that's 15? No. Is it a 15%? 60 to 70, $10 up.
Yep. So right now it's at 63. If it goes to 70, yeah, we got about 10% upside. And it's making all-time highs. As you can see, the chart actually shows us only up till 2001, right? So this company has been around for about 20 years, and it's actually pushing up, creating all-time highs. As we have also spoken and discussed in the past, Afiq, right? We know that one of our sessions we discussed about, we looked at the overall market and where it can actually head to, right?
Yep.
So we are still in an uptrend, and we are looking at next year, 2022, somewhere in November, to be the cycle top. So at this point, I think that the stock market will continue to actually rage forward.
Rage forward. I would say gallop forward like they're bulls. They don't rage. They are, you know, the Pamplona where they run up to the moon. But frankly, I really think that the pandemic has done well for Mondelez, actually, right? With people, like I said, people still need to eat, but the short term has just shown that people are just hoarding food. People, well, not really hoarding food, but they're really buying up a lot of food. And with the population increasing, we always need to feed all these people. And Mondelez is perfectly positioned in all around the world to be able to feed all these people, right? And so even my long-term view on Mondelez is, you know, well, not to the moon, but bullish at least.
Well, I think this stock has two things going for it. Fundamentally, it is a good stock because, like you said, it is a company that basically distributes food. And during this COVID situation, most people are at home and they are becoming couch potatoes, right?
Yes!
Most of them.
Yes! Oh my goodness, I am no longer the bull, I'm more of a fat cow sitting on the couch.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you are watching Netflix and entertaining yourself at home. And then after a while, you want to chomp on something, right? You want to eat something. Usually people buy foods that are being distributed by Mondelez. So that's why you can see right now the chart is showing that is a high probability of it going up. Fundamentally, it's also a good company. So it has two things going for it, right? So, but anyway, if you're going to be investing, you should know also that you should have a risk management strategy in place. So if it ever happens to reverse and go against you, you know what to do, right, Afiq?
Of course, absolutely. I mean, we say this time and time again, but it's something that bears repeating, folks. At the end of the day, you got to have a strategy and a plan to follow that. Just because we tell you about Mondelez doesn't mean, oh, you should go and buy Mondelez. That doesn't make sense. Think about your plan, whether Mondelez even fits into your plan. And if it does fit into your plan, have a further plan on how you're going to go into it. Now, to give you an example, while you're munching on certain things, while you're doing your plan, for example, my kids love Oreos. Did you know Oreos is made by Mondelez? Oreos, Chips Ahoy, Cadbury. I'm just looking at their portfolio of brands that they hold. They even do candy, cough drops, gum, you know. They do so much. Like, I would really think it's really hard to find something in a supermarket that, or rather find a supermarket that doesn't carry anything by Mondelez, right? They're huge, folks. And so again, due diligence, please do your own due diligence. But I think that Mondelez is a good company to hold for the long run, from a fundamental analysis perspective, and from a technical analysis. What's your conviction for Mondelez, Adi?
At this point, Afiq, my conviction, we have low conviction, neutral, and high conviction, right?
Correct.
So at this point, I would say high conviction for Mondelez.
All right, man.
What do you think? What about
agree.
you?
I would agree. I'm looking at the charts that you're showing us. We have the double bottoms. We did break the resistance of 60, and well, the trajectory looks like it's going to go to the moon. I can't stop thinking. I will be putting this into our HIN model portfolio. Tomorrow is Monday, and so we'll look at how the price will be tomorrow. And for those of you who are interested to know our HIN model portfolio, go to halalinvestingnetwork.com, sign up. And you'll gain access to our mailing list. From there, we'll give you updates on what's happening with our HIN model portfolio, give you updates on what's happening, and inshallah, we might even let you join our secret HIN VIP group. Okay, now that I told you it's not so secret anymore, lah. So maybe look out for that. Adi, anything else on Mondelez?
I'm good to go to the next stock. Excited actually, because waiting for you to actually present the second stock.
That's a nice way of saying I'm waiting for you to shut up and then tell me the next stock. Let's go and see. So sharing my screen, and there we go. So we covered Mondelez. Mondelez, very nice company. I want to talk to you tonight about Copart. Copart, CPRT, listed on the NASDAQ as well, is a very interesting company. I didn't actually know about Copart until quite recently. Now, my notes here tell me, the global provider of online vehicle auction. They've got a few other brands under their umbrella. They IPO'd in 1994. In 1994, I was 9 years old, I think. No, I was 10 years old. 1994, I was 10 years old, and they IPO'd at $12. Later, we'll see the price. But here's the interesting part. As I was talking about Adi before we came online, I was just thinking, here in Singapore, we have the vehicle scrapping model, right? Like, 10 years lifespan, and after that, you have to scrap the vehicle. And part of me was wondering, where do those vehicles go? And for the longest time, somebody just told me, oh, the government sells it off. Sells it to where? And who does all the buying and selling? Turns out, Copart does it. There's actually a Copart Singapore Private Limited. And a little bit of Googling, and they actually help the whole auction process. They actually arrange for the cars here in Singapore to be sold, and their presences are all over the world. They're in the Middle East, they're in the Americas, they're in Asia, they're all over the place. And this is like one of those really quiet, under the radar, low profile companies nobody really thinks about. And when you look at the charts, I think you'll be blown away. They provide a service that I think a lot of us don't think about. Another part of this online vehicle auction is this. They have vehicles, so there are vehicles that unfortunately end up in accidents and become irreparable. They call these vehicles salvage vehicles. And so they are normally sold for parts. And did you know Copart does that? They actually form a platform that allows people looking for parts or salvages, as they call them, and the buyers who have all these cars, things like, insurance companies, after they, if there's an accident, they have to take over, they possess that salvage vehicle, they have to sell it off. And so Copart does this, and it's super, super interesting. The more I dug up, the more I realized that they perform an almost essential service. And knowing that vehicle numbers in Singapore and just around the world are just increasing, right? If you look at all the big auto manufacturers, they're just producing more and more cars. Copart is just there to just take care of, when these vehicles' lifespan have ended. And so personally, I was very interested to read up about Copart. I started looking at their fundamentals. Their revenue has been growing, and they look really, really good. And so that's enough from me about Copart. I'm a bit fanboying here. I'm going to throw it back to Adi to tell us about the technicals. Adi, all yours.
Okay, let me just share my screen. Okay, sorry, I pressed something wrong. Something else.
No
okay, let me just share my screen, right? So okay, so this is Copart, right? So we have Copart on the weekly chart, and as you can see, Copart is a very old company. Okay, it's okay, not say very old, but it's quite old. I guess it's,
I was born.
Yeah, it's. I guess it listed in 1994. So we have about 25, 26 years of records for this company. And as you can see, it has been in an uptrend, a very steady uptrend. All right, so price of the shares back then was around $1, but by 2008, it has reached $11. Okay, 10x basically, and right now it's above $100. Right, so we saw this particular stock basically during the COVID crash. All right, it crashed all the way to $56, and at this point right now, it has actually risen and broke the previous resistance that it met just before it crashed. So the resistance now has turned support, right? Let me just mark it with some arrows. So you can see that this was resistance, all right, in last year, basically, and this year it has become support. So this is a technical analysis phenomenon, I would say, right? Once the resistance, has been broken to the upside somewhere in September 2020 last year, price actually shoot up all the way to 130, and then it fell back, tested the resistance and support. And we have here a chart pattern, which is a bullish pattern. This is called a bullish pennant. So price actually maintain, it is decided to actually consolidate within this pennant, and then it broke above this pennant on the 29th of March this year. And right now it is moving and testing the last resistance at 128. And something that we could take note as well is that we can see that this week and last week, the price, basically the candlestick price action is quite bullish, because we have two pintail candles right here. Afiq, can you see it? These two candles, right? So what it tells you there, what is the what you want to know is, what you guys really need to know is that if, let's say, you have a pintail candle like this, what it means is that price actually fell all the way to 117, but buyers came in to actually buy the stock up and close higher at 124, and it happened 2 weeks consecutively. So that is quite a bullish signal, in my opinion, based on price action. And I believe that this stock is poised to go higher, I think.
So let's look at the target price. Higher is one thing, but when do we want to take profit? When do we watch and see what happens?
Okay, so this line here, okay, I should actually put it, connect the lows here, and the high here, the swing high here, and then connect it to the next swing high, which is here. And I can see that we have this space here for price to actually continue higher, possibly towards 150, I think. That's a nice round number.
And folks, if you do remember from our earlier sessions, we did mention that round numbers are psychological magnets and barriers, right? That they won't let it drop below a round number, but they will be attracted towards a round number. So if 150, today we're looking at about 120-ish, $30, that's what, 40% up? No, 30%, 40, yeah.
Right now,
30% up.
Yep, we have an upside of about $23, and that's about 20%.
Very, very nice. Very, very
nice. 20% upside. And although we have not broken this resistance, but I have conviction that it may actually break the resistance at this point. Of course, I may be wrong, but the probability is there for it to actually push through the resistance level.
Yeah, I would think so. If I look at this, so for this, high, medium, low conviction, or do we just put it on the watch list and see what happens?
Let's put it on the watch list. To be safe, it's better to actually be buying once it closes above the resistance level of 127.
Okay, there we go. I've put it on our watch list. And so tomorrow, when the market opens tomorrow night, Singapore time anyway, when the market opens tomorrow night, we'll watch the trading activity and see whether it breaks above 127. Right? Target price, let me write this down. Target price is 127. There we go.
You see, okay, I think if we do, you see, the previous time when it actually made a swing low, and then it went to a swing, a high at this level, if we just do a projection, right? It could, if we are looking at it in a more optimistic manner, it could actually go all the way towards 175. That's the second target.
So let's shoot up, man.
Yeah. So it need to actually, first of all, reach this first target that we have put here, which is about 150. But if it breaks above that, we might see, it continue all the way to 173. But we can be optimistic, but let's look at the first target first.
Of course. As they all say, believe in God, trust in God, but tie your camel. Right? Tie your camel. Right? We can have the faith that it might go up. But of course, do our own due diligence, set our stop losses, look at our take profits, and make sure that, if it does drop down, that you're comfortable putting Copart into your long-term portfolio. Compared to Mondelez versus Copart, personally, I would prefer, if I had only had to pick either one between Copart and Mondelez, for me, I would hold Mondelez because I'm a couch potato. I don't drive anymore. And so, but in all seriousness, I think Copart does have a good fundamentals. They're more of a slow and steady stock. You won't see, huge jumps in short periods of time. But this chart tells us that, yeah, maybe we can hold for the next, how long? 6 months-ish?
Yep, possibly until August, end of August, or beginning of August.
That's 3 months, 3 to
Yep.
5, 3. Today this is end of May already, June, July, August. Yeah, about 3 months. All right, so we're gonna put CPRT, we're gonna put Copart on our watch list and watch it for the next few days. Tune in to our Halal Stock Hunters midweek review this coming Wednesday at 10 a.m. So we're going to be reviewing our HIN model portfolio, looking at the watch list of stocks that we have been looking at, and the watch list is slowly growing. Just to give you guys some heads up, we're holding things like Crocs, things like Freeport McMoran. We're actually looking at Intuit last week. Remember, we're looking at Intuit, and so we'll share with you on Wednesday what's gonna happen and what's our call in the midweek. Adi, do you have any last minute things you want to talk about when it comes to Copart?
Well, I've just actually put the some markings here to show that it has consistently been making higher swing lows, and yeah, it's looking quite bullish overall. So yeah, let's just put it in our list and see what happens, in a couple of weeks going forward.
Awesome, best. Now, we're gonna stop the sharing here, and I'm gonna share my screen and tell you guys, hey, our site is finally up. There's not much on it at the moment, but do join us at halalinvestingnetwork.com. Sign up for our mailing list. The mailing list is free. Look out for our welcome emails and the opportunity to join the not so secret Halal Investing Network VIP section. Okay, of course. If you pay attention to us, if you contribute to the group, we might be giving you an early bird offer. We might be giving you a big discount. We might not also. So do look out for that. halalinvestingnetwork.com. Today is just going to be a very short one. We don't want to take too much of your Sunday night. So those are the two counters we're looking at: Mondelez, MDLZ, and Copart, CPRT. They're very interesting counters. Mondelez was high conviction. CPRT was put on the watch list to see whether we want to go in. Adi, any last words from you?
Yeah, I would like to thank everyone for actually viewing our show. And I would like to just add a little bit of information. The things that Afiq has done, basically, people pay thousands of dollars to get the info that he's giving for free. I'm not exaggerating actually, because the kind of analysis, the kind of work that he's putting in, to actually screen for the best, the trending stocks and stocks with good fundamentals, as well as those that are Sharia compliant. It's a lot of work actually, and yeah, but we are sharing with you guys for free, hoping that more people will actually come forward and begin to be interested in investing in halal stocks.
Of course, inshallah. I mean, at the end of the day, we started Halal Investing Network with the simple intention of helping our community. Let's face it, there's not enough financial literacy. It's not taught in schools. And well, we want to help our community, right? If we can empower you guys through education and help you, achieve your goals, achieve financial independence, I always honestly believe that we can help society by being wealthy. Only when you are wealthy can you give to charity. And it's stated in the Quran, it is better to give in charity, to work than to receive charity. And it is better to give in charity than to receive it. And so, folks, alhamdulillah, we have come to, I've lost track of the number of episodes we've done. That's quite fun, right? And so moving forward, we'll be doing more and more of this, inshallah, just for you. I would like to thank Tuan Datuk Paduka Agong Adi Ismail for all his work and all his awesome insight into the world of technical analysis. Look out for our emails. Look out for the posts. Like, comment, share all of these videos, folks. We do this just for you. We don't have to do it, actually, but we want to do it, and we love you for it. And so thank you for all the comments. Thank you for all the... Oh, wait, we have a question. Okay, someone actually put us a question. Do you have a few minutes, Adi, to answer that question?
Sure, why not?
All right.
For
so
our audience.
Yeah, I'm going to read it out. So Brother Sham says, he's just starting to getting to know about the halal market, and he is recently starting to invest his CPF into a halal source. And so he wants to know if there's an avenue for a small player at $100 a month to start. He wants to use cash to use $100 a month to start. How about this? Let me answer it from a passive investing perspective, and then you can take on the active investing portion. So, Brother Sham, long story short, as low as $100 a month, fine. Very easy to do. Alhamdulillah, here in Singapore, there are avenues for us to start with as low as $100 a month. Of course, the first question I always have is, what are your long-term goals and objectives? If it's just simply, make money. That's what typically we always hear. Why do I invest? To make money. But make money for what? We have to think about that, because money by itself, tak boleh makan. You cannot eat that money. $2 note, you cannot, you'll choke, right? But when you have a goal, you have an objective, then you know why you're investing, whether it's to buy a new car, whether it's to the moon, whether it's, to retire. You got to have that objective first. So once you know that objective, then you can come up with a plan and a strategy, and you can talk to one of us to help you with that plan and strategy. And then, alhamdulillah, there are instruments and options available to us here in Singapore as Muslim investors to start with as low as $100 a month. Adi, what would you have to say?
If you are, I think Afiq is saying that there are actually products that you can invest in with $100 a month, and it's within the passive investment category. So, however, if you want to do active investing, I guess that I'm suggesting at least $1,000 to start, and with $1,000 you can start investing in one stock, right? The reason why I say that is because when you invest $1,000, okay, there's a minimum in terms of commissions that you need to pay to the broker. So if it's below than $1,000, I think it's a bit too much to pay, right? You don't want to be paying like more than 1%, right? Buy and sell. Once you buy and then when you sell, you both ways you need to pay the broker. You don't want to be paying more than 1%. So if you, let's say, have something amounts that are lesser than $1,000, I guess you'll be paying more than 1%. So that's the reason why I usually tell my students that take my stocks course, or that, when they want to invest in stocks, try to have at least $1,000 Singapore dollars. You can start with a broker that is based in Singapore and that is MAS license, right? It's MAS license. That's very important. And yeah, there are, of course, new brokers that that has come to the fore, that has actually come into the space. But we have a couple of brokers that, of course, we can recommend to you, but not on this show, because we don't want to be actually giving free advertising, right?
Yeah, I know, right? Until they, give us when they affiliate with us and do all the referral links and all that. Now we're watching you. So if you're watching us, reach out to us at halalinvestingnetwork.com. I will be more than happy to help you push your platform. Of course, we like to remain unbiased, right, Adi? We will always remain unbiased. We don't want to say, okay, this one goes because they pay us. Nope, never that. We will always review all the available options and give you an unbiased and independent view on which particular service provider is the best. Okay, you have our promise on that, because kalau tak halal. So I hope that really does answer your question, Brother Sham. It is 9:37 p.m. I can hear my children torturing my wife, refusing to go to bed. And so, folks, I want to thank Adi. I want to thank Sham for. I want to thank Adi for all his time and effort. I want to thank Sham for your questions. I want to thank everybody watching for all your attention. Alhamdulillah, thank you so much. We do this just for you. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, share all this to all your friends. We do this just for you. This is Afiq, Chief Finance Ninja at Fuss Free Finance, co-founder of Halal Investing Network, and this is
RD from Halal Investing Network, who's always being tortured by Afiq.
And with that, we're gonna end tonight's session with what do you call that? Tasbih Kafara and Surah As. Alhamdulillah. So yes, folks, I do torture Adi all the time. He likes it. Yeah. Selamat malam. Good night. Have a fantastic fuss-free week ahead. I'll see you at our Wednesday Halal Stock Updates. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum.